No. Yeah, this will look the best. No, the green looks terrible. Yeah, the red one looks better. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. So, I've been getting pretty lazy on the channel, so I thought maybe I should start, doing more live streams, more interactions, because um, I'm on everyone's else's podcasts, and pretty haven't been doing much of my own. I have some videos from Armwrestling Talk, pretty much my version of the podcast that I'm gonna be releasing very very soon. But in this evening, I want to hear your or see your questions. Let's set this up a little bit lower. Yeah, your questions about whatever is on your mind and all the topics that you want me to talk about, or we can discuss it together with you guys. Yeah. So, cheers. Some water. Yeah. Because I have 7 chins, I'm doing 3 day fast. Haven't done fast in a long time. Was doing a lot of fasting when I was on carnivore diet, because then you're pretty much not hungry at all, so it's very easy to do. Um, Now, just to feel better, need to do some fasting. Interested in hearing what you think of Ryan's year of the monster prediction. I saw the video, I saw the thumbnail. Year of the monster. I don't know. Uh, can someone summarize it for me in the comment section? I haven't watched the video. Uh, did you cry or I love the last? Did you cry or smoke weed? Your eyes are so red. This is from. I have some colors there. Look, so sometimes I turn to the Green Hulk, or whatever. Green is the most neutral one of all. These all look pretty terrible, to be honest. I'll just try to do without them. I need to set them up behind me because then it would look better. Um, yeah, I just watched. Oh my god, this is terrible. I was just taking the green one. I'll have my weed eyes. I just watched Devon and Engin talking about all different things in arm wrestling. That was amazing. Always interesting to seeing what their thoughts, and I love their back and forth. You know, um, yeah. Let's see some questions. Don't be so lazy. Yeah, I'm trying not to be lazy. I'm trying to post every day, at least something. I have I written down a lot of ideas on the videos that I want to make. Some takes pretty long time to make, so it's not that easy. Yeah, we're just starting a bar wrestling here in Latvia. We'll have first competition of the year and first competition since I think September. Yeah, at the end of the week. Uh, I don't know how many people will turn up. Uh, the big stars of Latvian arm wrestling, almost all of them have some super matches, some competitions set up. So I don't know how many will compete there, but most likely we'll see some footage on the channel after that. Yeah, so that's organizing things in with all the restrictions pretty hard, but let's hope nothing nothing changes that. Um, let's see. Sup, Ray? Do you think Khaled and Larry is legit? I think that's an interesting match. I think if you're a fan of Larry Wheels and his channel and all the influence from Dubai, I think that's the match you want to see because Khaled is this monster. Devon speaks so highly of him. I met him. Dude has great genetics. He's like the hand is ridiculous. Uh, but I think Larry is progressing really fast now, and I think if he understands the easiest way to deny the hand control of Khaled, I think he can he can dominate that match. But I thought he's gonna dominate the match with Brandon as well. So I guess I don't know anything. But uh, if that happens, I think that's, people will tune in for sure. People will tune in. Um, like I said, like I don't think Larry should. I don't know where I said it on which podcast, but I don't think Larry should pull in all of his events. I think at some he just needs to be the spectator and just look at what he has built and just move on from that, because uh, you don't have to compete every time, and I think they need to do some tournaments. I think they just, you know I think Larry can organize a tournament and just pull in it, just for the people that are in Dubai, to gain up experience, because pulling in competition and pulling in practice are two completely different beasts, and you will get used to it pulling in competition when you need to win fast, or you cannot let this guy get in his position and then work out from it. So I think it's easy to make that experience, especially when you're Larry Wheels. So we'll see how that goes. Kirsten, where do you see my match will go? Man, if you will, if you will do something to Bozhidar, you will shock the world. Yeah, let's just leave it like that. Um, Professor Hammerbill, I just happen to be on lunch now. It's like 10 p.m. here in Latvia. Um, yeah. Did you guys watch Devin and Engen's live early? And Ryan is a joke and half of the year of delusion. Okay, just you know, it's how much can we talk about Ryan? But Ryan is like he's making everyone talk about him. It's ridiculous. Uh, let's see. Did your cat leave you for Frodo? Yes, one of them. One of them just left me. Yeah, I I watched Devon's live and I was sitting in this, just so he can feel the support. What was John's presenting shoulder injury? I don't know like pretty accurately what it was. I just think it's he can work on it and get it in somewhat shape, but I think it's continuous work, because if there is a problem and the muscles need to keep the joint together, you cannot stop. You just have to keep doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. Um, that nose never skip nose day. uh, Ray, any chance of you pulling at upcoming King of Table? Who you want to pull personally? Maybe something is in the works. I don't know. I cannot confirm it, but maybe something is in works pretty soon. Um, how would you rank Latvian armresters among themselves? Maybe top five. Um, so I'm taking out Norman Thompsons, who is the best of all time, the strongest of all time Latvian. Just because he just had surgery, he hasn't competed. He will have super match with Sanders pretty soon. I would say Sanders is number one. I would say the form that Raymond showed up to beat Petrenko, he very easily could be there with Sanders, or defeat Sanders. I would say Sanders right now. I think Sanders off season. Raymond's is kind of relaxing, not training that much. Vlad is the second one. Then it would be Raymond's. Uh, then Yanis, and I would say there's some guys that you don't know, and it's very interesting. And we'll see in those competitions. The top four, it's for me. I see those guys like that. Um, with right arm, with left, different stories everywhere. Full range of motion reps versus mini reps, Devon Lara style. What's the benefit of each one in your opinion? So, full range of motion will always build full range of the muscle. If you have the resistance coming at all throughout the movement. As soon as you start doing partial or mini reps, you kind of locked in position. So if you want to put more blood in your tendon, that's the way to do it. If you want to increase, how I say, capacity of the muscle to get stronger, you want to do full range. So for everything, there is like time and place to do it. Like if you know when you want to heal up your tendon, doing full range might help, but sometimes you cannot hit it, get those, get that blood, get that pump where you really need it, like in pronator, very hard to do it. So you can do just those mini reps and it will work. Yeah. Been a while since we there's live streams from you, brother. Nice to see you. Sweden Armstrong Television. What's up, buddy? Uh, oh my god. I need to read this comment. Hello from Bosnia Herzegovina. I'm a big fan of your arm wrestling. Keep up the great work. P.S. Read Bruce Lee book of training and how to activate every muscle in your body. You'll be 200% stronger. Every time someone says there's some secret method or there's a method to just reach paranormal status, if something would work that great, everyone would be using it. If there would be method to activate every muscle pretty much by reading a book, I think everyone would be using it. So maybe everyone is, and everyone just twice as strong they are, and then it evens out. Um, um, okay, some Ryan comments. Will you ever do a call on stream with Lars Storbakken? Oh man, I wanted, like, I was planning to, when I was supposed to go to Norway in 2020. I was supposed to do an interview with Lars. I really wanted to because Lars was coming. John's gonna be there. Uh, in 2020, right before we're pretty much going back from Viking Arms. Damon was there. It was an amazing event, one of the best I have been to in Norway. And the place, and Robert Saxton took care of us. It was just amazing. He actually drove us back to not the airport, but train station. And like I tried to film because we were talking, and I was like, I'm going to film some of this, but it was so much background noise that the footage was just not usable. So I didn't post it because it was pretty terrible. Yeah. Who would win left hand super match? Schoolboy versus Oleg Jok. Hmm. What's your thoughts on Travis and Brandon match? Well, I watched the live stream and I saw the first two, and I kind of didn't figure out that Travis lost on fouls, you know, one of the first rounds. I don't remember. So I just turned off. I was like, oh, Travis has it in the bag. I'm like, done. And then I'm like, I turned it back on because everyone's like, did you see it? I'm like, what did I miss? And I was like, okay, Travis lost. So Travis showed up out of shape for sure. I don't know how to say, he was out of shape. Um, I don't know how high Brandon ranks, but he's very impressive. And I just saw on Facebook everyone wants him for a super match, and I think why not? You just build. He kept on, he grinded. That was a good round. Uh, you know, I don't know how much to take from that match. I don't know how like when when Travis says he can beat Levon or whatever, or Dennis or whoever he says with the right left arm, it's hard to believe now. I'm like, dude, you have to show up. And I think he does just too much work, and he loves the sport because he's still in the sport forever. I think he's doing all of that American football coaching, and there's a lot of stuff he's doing. And I just think he's kind of getting distracted, and I don't know if there's that fire like it was when he really wanted to be the man, like really. Um, if we can get it back, I think Travis is Travis, and time has shown when Travis shows up, Travis shows up. So, yeah. Mm. This is a great question. Hello, Ray. You train a lot with Giannis a lot, but then don't see any progress in your results. Why is it? Is it genetic or something else? Like I don't like. Yeah, we have a lot of new fans, and I think people, they see someone. I'm not. I'm not too vocal. Like I'm not going around saying I will beat this and my hand is this and that, and like a lot of guys on YouTube are now doing. And, so if you don't know, I'm president of Latvian Arm Wrestling Federation. So everything in this country goes through me if it happens in arm wrestling. So I'm doing a lot of jobs. It's coaching the national teams, coaching most of the athletes. It's working on events. It's working on so many different stuff um, that I can really perform really great in competition where I'm not coaching. So if I will go in like for a super match format, I can perform way better. And if you see me, I believe I have progressed, especially in the last 2 years when I didn't have to do so many tournaments, organize them. So sometimes I will do like 9 tournaments, and if you want to pull in them, so we'll go to Worlds, like this year's Worlds. I gave my place to two guys, new upcoming guys, because I thought like I'll give them my place. I'll try to cut down to 80. Didn't happen. Had some health issues. Went up to 90. So I was like, I'll give these guys a chance. So I'm there already for 6 days. When comes competition day, I said like my left is effed. I will not compete with that. My right, I didn't even want to compete because I was so tired. So you have to manage everything. You have to, I'm looking at hotels. I'm looking at registration. Where's everyone's flying? All that stuff. If you have never organized anything, to the bone, it's not just like you guys go there and you come back there. No, to the bone. Plus, I feel for my athletes. Like I left so much emotions on those 2 junior days that I don't want to compete. I feel like I don't want to. And most of the time, I had my best time in competition where I don't have to do any of that. In Latvia, it hasn't happened in 7 or 8 years when I don't have to do anything. Either I'm on mic as a scorekeeper, referee, and then arm wrestling, plus my guys are arm wrestling. Like, it's impossible to do that. And this is why I was happy to have some opportunities outside of my coaching, like going to the super matches, like in Dubai. I would love to have someone in my corner to tell me things that I didn't see, or arm wars where my guys competed, but the pressure there's less pressure in super match because we're not fighting for world titles, we're not fighting for European titles, we're not fighting for national titles. So I don't feel that much pressure on me as a coach. And that's the difference. I plus I'm some people are very gifted in the sport. I don't think I am. I know how to pull, I know where to pull. Most of the time it comes down what I actually can do. uh, I train almost every day of the week, but when it comes to big competition time, I'm too tired. Everyone knows it. Everyone in the national team. First years they were rooting for me, all my guys, and now they're just sometimes like, just don't compete. Just right, just leave it alone. And I still want to compete. I still want to try. In Europeans, I was tired. My arm, I have it some like my my right arm at the start of the year, right before I went to Dubai, got messed up, and I really cannot access full side pressure. Like the things that made me win matches, I'm winning through different things now. And I was like, man. And I remember going to Larry. I was like, nah, it just doesn't feel that. So I can pull with Larry in all the positions except side pressure. I cannot stop him there. And he progressed so much at the end I couldn't do anything. Match with Mazda here, pretty much the same scenario. I just couldn't access it until I kind of, utilized my wrist more, utilized my back pressure more, and things like that, so I could access some other things. And you know, with Europeans, I was just like, I'll just have fun. And after the first round, I was like, I cannot do anything. I feel bad. I'll just get in position where I know I can hang and just stay there. And I got the bronze medal. So yeah, I like I said, I don't think some guys that will tell you they're great, they're not great. not well, not in the sense that they think they are, because every time I go and I have arm wrestle, almost most of the people I know the power level not only in my class but classes below. So when you're pulling someone, you're like, oh, this is strong. I'm like, you really don't know what strong is. There are stronger guys everywhere. So and some are gifted, and like I say, the gifted arm wrestlers, they will they will be really good from the get go. They don't have to go uh, spend 10, 15 years developing their skills and get on PEDs or whatever. They are just good. They're just born that. They have one thing, at least one thing, like a hand, like back pressure, something that's separating them from the pack, and they just build everything around them. And those are the champs that we know. That's the elite of the elite. Um, so yeah, so I'm happier right now pulling super matches, because I can I can go there. I don't have to help with anything. I don't have to go around. Even now, I'm trying film, but I'm like, just leave this alone. Just try not to get any extra content. Just focus on that, because I really haven't been able to do it for I don't know how many years. Uh, yeah, like in Latvia, I'm the first one to come. I'm the last one to go. Usually all day. Doesn't matter what kind of tournament we have. I usually don't eat, I don't drink. I have too many things to work on. If I win, I feel really good and I'm very happy, but I'm usually more tired just because of that competition. And pretty much the same things has been like my best performances in Europeans and Worlds, separate from this year, have been when there is either none of my guys competing or just one or two. When I have big team and all the guys are my legacy guys, everyone here will tell you, everyone who has been to worlds and have heard me screaming, I get very passionate. I feel for those people and uh, my people, and that's pretty much my story. So um, I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to move some things around so I don't have to do everything. But I'm happy pulling super matches right now, and I really like them. I would love to still compete in Latvia in some tournaments, but I know how it is. Like every time I do it, I'm just too exhausted. You come up, you have to prepare everything, and then in the middle, from the scorekeeping, checking if everything's working. From the live streams, you have to warm up and do your match. It's ridiculous. So I think when you should not be looking at me as elite armors or pro. I'm not. Most of the people that win world titles are not even pro arm wrestlers. I'm, you know, yeah. What do I see? In which month will be the top eight second stage? I don't know about second stage of top eight. No idea. I think I missed some super chats. Thank you for your super chat. What do you think about Bowen versus RVJ? Do you think it's close match? Also, really love the Fix podcast. Became a ritual to listen to you guys. Like the Fix, it came together. It was like silly because Neil's just like, "Hey Ray, you want to talk with me and Ryan, and we'll bring more people into this." And I remember there were like 80 people when we started doing live, and before that we recorded and then put it up, and there was not a lot of people. Now it's like close to 1,000 people, 600, 700 watching it live. I'm so happy that arm wrestling is growing, and our sport is getting bigger and more people are interested and they want to hear these thoughts from the people inside our sport. Bowen versus RVJ. I think like RVJ is clear favorite. I don't see like, yeah, Ryan. I think he has opportunity. I think he has like if he can exploit RVJ's weaknesses, and for it is his slow starts, um, he might get in his head too much, so he could then there's a chance. But if he if he just kind of goes through Ryan, you know, I will not be surprised because I think RBJ is just way too much. I have said this so many times. So yeah. Hmm. There was some more super chats. Let's get to super chats, and I'll check. Keep making awesome content, coach. Would you want to pull if you could? Who would you want to pull if you could choose anybody for a super match? No preference. I just like I like to go to war. Know the result only after we finish all the matches. So because of the production of Armors, if you haven't gotten to Armors YouTube page, it's amazing. Like the production's amazing. Um, so I don't have any preference. I would love to pull people who want to arm wrestle me because then I think it's the most entertaining match when you're not thinking about just winning but really arm wrestling. Uh, I was hoping to do that with Alan Guerra because I know he will arm wrestle. He doesn't think about just spinning flash pins or anything. Uh, I think that's an interesting match. But there's so many guys to pull, and yeah, I think Armor's gonna let me experience that and show it to you guys. So my match with Craig Sanders is coming out next week. This week it's Jason Hill versus Uncle John. And when I did a poll, like asking which was my best super match of 2021, and in the third place came me and Craig Sanders, and everyone's like, "You and Mazahir was great," but I think me and Craig Sanders, because it was just such a war. It was a war on table. With Mazahir, like the war stopped after round four. I think it was like great comeback because I'm completely getting destroyed in 3 rounds. In fourth, I'm doing my comeback and I win, and it's amazing. But like the arm wrestling stopped after the fourth round because he had nothing in his arm, and I just took full control, and it was like that. Uh, but me and Craig, I think that was something special. The problem, we didn't do interview after we did before, and I'm like, what did I say? Because everything I said in that interview, I think nothing went as a plan, and it kind of went opposite. And I want you guys to see it. It's coming out next week, next Friday. I think it's just gonna be amazing, and I'm so happy. Jason Statham is doing amazing job. Like he was the cameraman. He's doing all the editing. Like the matches, like Tom and Kaspar's, it was a great match. It was a great match. Just seeing that, like Kaspar's pretty much ruined Tom's day. Took it on short notice. Came in, gave gave like everything he had. It was like I said to Kaspar's like, watching this is so hard. I'm like, dude, even in losing, you went to war. You didn't give up anything. You didn't stop. You tried, and I think that was really good match. Yeah, thank you, Sanders, for the comment. Oh my God, it's James Statham. It hurts to say Ray. Ray is really good. He hides behind being just a coach, but don't sleep on Ray, especially in the Superman. Yeah, I've heard this so many times. But again, I said like most of the time you see me, I'm very tired. If you see me in an event, I'm tired. I sleep less. Yeah, if I'm trying to do content for you guys, I'm the one that's filming, that's editing, that's staying up late, that's posting, that's doing that. Plus, I have to run to meetings and make sure that did everyone warm up? Did you know your game plan? Have to watch the matches and all those things. So especially worlds and Europeans, it's always for me when someone says like, well, I'm heading to Romania for 9 days. They're like, oh, nice, go. Romania is great, and this. I'm like, it's not a vacation. it's it's the farthest thing for vacation for me. But I hope to fix that in next few years, and we'll see. Whew, thank you, Jason. James. What's next for What's next for Hutchings on Bio maybe? Hmm. Next for Hutchings is Tsonev, Jordan Tsonev. Yeah, that match going to be part of East versus West. You can find all the information in community section, or I'm going to post a link in this video as well. Please buy the pay-per-view. Like, Engin is putting so much of his into this. Uh, we are kind of working behind the scenes for this event, but none of this money will go to anyone except the arm wrestlers, for expenses, for hotels, for staying, for, I think, even for some food and things like that. Nothing is gonna be wasted on some. Nothing will go to someone's pocket. So we will be very clear where all the money went. I think we will say what was the number of pay-per-views sold. Everything will go to arm wrestlers, because that's Dangan's point. Like, let's make the matches that everyone wants to see, that make sense with this East and West. Plus, some people commented like, well, there's Georgian pulling Ukrainian, Oleg Zhok, but Kilonani. Which one is East? Which one is West? That's like the separate part. That's superstar showdown, pretty much. We'll have WAF champs versus WAF champs as well. And I think just gonna kill. I never been anything bigger made in the same day. If the headliner John versus Haji, who doesn't want to see that? Who doesn't want to see that? So for Hutchings, it's Jordan Sonev. I'm giving big edge to Hutchings, because if Jordan doesn't attack, he stays in defensive mode. I don't see him winning in all war versus Hutchings, but dude can pull, and you will see it. And I think that this in that match, I will not have to scream from audience, hook, hook, hook. Thank you, Ryan Turner. I called you Jason. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, James. I'm getting too drunk on this water. He's like an editor and cameraman and a big wanker. That's all the information I know. He's like, no, I'm a director or filmmaker. Are you? But he is. Really, he is. Let's see. Cannot buy the pay-per-view. Yeah, $10 for 16 match. 16 match. I like every day. I'm waking up with some feeling that Engin's gonna add like 7 more matches. At what weight does Devon start having a real chance against Levin? More pancakes. The weight should come proportionally to strength. Like the problem is not weight. Problem is strength. Can Devon get a strong? So we saw, like, we know how strong Dave Chafee is, and Levin just kind of took everything of that away. Took everything, couldn't get engaged. The question is, can Devon not get taken away? Can he be in position where his back pressure stays in the game and things like that? So I don't know if to wait. If he gets bigger, I think what's that? 125, 130 kilos. He's a big dude, tall dude. Not the director, the director. Let's see. Ray, you missed my super chat. J-Mania, send me it again. Okay. Love your content, Ray. Have you ever gripped up with Devon? If so, how strong was he, and how strong do you think he was in Dubai? Yeah, I gripped up with Devon in Viking Arms. You can Google Coach Ray versus Devon Larratt. So I was in Viking Arms. I was pulling 90 kilo class, and I thought there's going to be overall. I was in a destroyer shape. Like, again, I had just with me Maratz. I don't have to worry about Maratz. Maratz was like 2 classes above everyone there, and I was like, okay, I just can let it rip. So I pretty much smashed my competition. I felt fantastic on that day, and I was like, there will be no overall. So I was like, So we're talking maybe some super matches after pulling everything else. So we take a break. Everyone eats. We go back to after pulling. It's like an hour and a half later. I've been pulling like my arms. I start feeling my arms, but they're fine. Everything's fine. And it's like I'm like, damn it, let's just get this over with. So pretty much the first grip up of that day on for Devon was me, and first like the first pulling on after table for me was Devon. He was so strong, and but he has the frame and his movements. He allows me to do a lot of stuff, and yeah. Uh, like fresh for fresh, of course, there's nothing you can do with that man. Absolutely nothing. Um, in Dubai, with Mike, he was stronger. But again, that's the difference with Devon. Sometimes Devon will let you play. He's like, I'll let you play. You get in your position, then it looks like it's a match. You look how Devon pulls with most people. It looks like they have a chance. You look at those after pull and you're like, oh my God, so close. And then you see someone else, oh, okay, they smoked them. Then they meet in a super match in competition and Devon just smokes them because you don't allow that in competition. So that's the difference. If we start in center, I wouldn't move past the center. Sanders, what's up, Wankers? Hey Ray, for someone new to arm wrestling on a budget, which two handles would you recommend people get for getting most bang for your buck? Thanks for everything, dude. Absolute like classic rolling handle will help with a lot of things. You can do pretty much all your grip work with it, and 50 millimeter 2 inch, and I call it winding handle. What's the American name for it? Not Captain Crush. Wrist wrench. So the one with two bands where it's gonna rotate outwards. So when you kind of reel it in, it's still gonna try to open up your fingers. And this is one of the greatest handles you can have, especially if your hand is the one that needs extra work, because it will have that extra work just from that handle. So uh, that's my best advice. I think if you can just buy two things on a budget, uh, those are the ones. Or the second handle, the winding handle, or the wrist wrench, you can make it. Like I think Sanders has a video where he makes it from just wood. Go outside, go to the park, get some wood, and make it, and it will work great. How your English so well, considering you're not a native speaker? I don't know. Computer games, movies, TV series. You know, yeah. Do you do video games? From time to time, I do some video games. When I'm like, I have like my rituals when I'm overwhelmed with all the stuff, all the things I have to do. So I waste my time playing video games. I just replayed Witcher 3 just because the TV series came out. Um, you know, yeah, I like action RPG. Those are the ones that I like. I don't play with others. Good. So, um, what's your thoughts on Kid Galong about? Dude, I think he had surgery or something. What can be my thoughts right now? I haven't seen him in a while. What's your second favorite sport, Ray? I love powerlifting. I follow powerlifting. That's very big. But for me, I like ice hockey. Like every Latvian, we love ice hockey. And when our team's playing in World Championships, that's the thing we follow. When I was in Dubai, I bought VPN just to watch all the matches there. Yeah. um, I believe Hutchings uses stick wrist wrench a lot. Yes, he does, because it will keep his side pressure engaged with his fingers engaged. So, yeah. Did you like Witcher 2? I think that's the best. That's the best game. Period. I bought Cyberpunk. I went through it when it was really laggy and bad looking, and I expected so much more. There are companies that make great games. Like for me, it's BioWare, Dragon Age Origins, just replayed Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, things like that, and Mass Effect. All those are my favorites. Like you see similarities with the games I play if you're into the gaming. So, uh, yeah. Where is the best place to buy pulley system and handles? So you have to look around. Basically, what sometimes you can find something that's very close to you, like in your country. You can find like some custom made like Kasi pulleys or Mazarenko equipment or all those things. But the problem will be with shipping. You will pay so much money for the shipping that it doesn't make sense. So pulley system, either you can find it if it's easier, if you don't have like people that can make it or something similar in the country, then it's, I think, Crossy pulley is good choice. you know you really have to look around and then figure out what's best. Yeah. Thoughts on Witcher season 2. For me, 7 out of 10. It was different. It was really different, but I still liked it. If I like, how to say, if I like the, like, I love Witcher. I love the games. I played all the games, and I was like, I don't care, and it was good enough for me. The things that everyone doesn't like, I don't like them either, but it was good enough for me. So um, I heard some plans of super matches between Latvians and Finnish in the summer. Is that happening? I had some contact, but nothing more. So I don't know. Like, we have a lot of people are inviting us to the places, and it's too much, and we have to pretty much figure out what is the best. Uh, like for Vlad, it's Europeans and Worlds. That's the main priority. Nothing is bigger than that for him. You know. But you will see Vlad in a super match. You will see Kristaps in a super match. You will see Sanders in the two super matches very, very soon. Um, I'm pulling few, and yeah, Giannis, not yet confirmed, but something in the works. What's the best way to armor someone with bigger hands? In a strap. You watch NHL at all? No, 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 no. I just I even don't want, like, we have KHL, so Continental Hockey League, and it's like Russian led, and our team Dynamo plays there. I don't even watch that because they're really bad for past, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. So I was like, I'm just watching the World Championships. That's most interesting for me. Yeah, they made the Olympics too, but certain North European teams didn't. They are ranked 32, and 11th place didn't. They made the Olympics too. No, we cannot be ranked number 32. We are ranked. I think I don't know. Uh, which place did we stay in World Championships last year was here in Riga. I think we got like 11th place, or I'm forgetting because I forgot. But yeah, hockey teams always in top 14, top 12 in the world for since 2001, like 20 years pretty much. We haven't left the elite group ever. Yeah, and for Olympics, there's qualification term. Enough about hockey. College generally for Warhammer. Okay. Let's see. Easter's answers. For me, as a Brit, it's James Statham. East versus West answers far more questions than East versus West. Post COVID is the big stuff. We have to get world data. What do you think, Praise Engen? Yeah, I think it will give us more data, and I think like the first few, like last year for West didn't look as good, like really didn't look as good. They not good at all. Now the matchups are pretty good, so it should be more even, or even favor them on one side. Just looking at those matches, but yeah. Mm. Cheers, guys. Petition for Ray to play Witcher 3 on stream. uh, it's pretty in depth, but overcomplicated or difficult. I love Dragon Age. Favorite Inquisition. Yeah, I like Inquisition. I started like 3 times, couldn't finish game because yeah, it was at some point it kind of gets stale, and I was like, I don't know. The first one was really in depth. Origins, I replayed that multiple times. Um, the second one was faster. The pace was faster. Everything was pretty much streamlined. It was very easy. So, you know, yeah, right. You should stream video games. Man, yeah. Maybe I think that might be one of the things I could do when I want to procrastinate because sometimes I just don't want to do anything. I'm really tired. And I was like, I'm just gonna play games just to tune everything out, and that could be one way to put it all together. So I'm still kind of doing something. Yeah. Strength night. I'll have a super match with you. Whoever wins get free dinner at Nando's. Dude, you're paying all the time. Um, I'll be nice, and I'll take one check. That's Adam. Uh, you know him from Dubai. He's the big dude that everyone keeps saying that he lost some weight, but then he puts it all back. What do you think about Mindaugas versus Tom Holland? That's an interesting match. That's a really good match. I think it's gonna kill. I think it's whoo, yeah. Uh, what's with all the overhyped blown matches? Can we get our monies back? Oh, that's the problem. That's the problem of casual fans. Sometimes some matches that really didn't need it to be made are made, but sometimes you have to be entertained, and I think the build up is entertaining. The big part about arm wrestling that we didn't have back in the day when John Brzezinski was arm wrestling, there was no hype, there was no build up for the matches. They did like an interview, they put it on Arm Power Net, and that's it. And if you speak English, that's fine. You speak Russian, that's fine. But if you don't speak any of those languages, you don't see anything. You don't understand anything. This is why so many matches in arm wrestling really, like, there's a good storyline behind them. We'll never know. We'll never know. This is why I made the video with Devon and Dennis pulling left arm, because so many people are like, why did they pull left arm? This doesn't make sense. And it really does make sense if you watch the video. I explained, I talked, I've been there, I was there, I know the buildup, I know the backstory, I even get some inside information from Devon. So it all makes sense. But and I think we need to understand these blown up matches are really good sometimes. Not all of them. Some are just, some people just seek attention and it's ridiculous. But I think RVJ and Bowen is really good. Ryan been talking so much trash about RVJ, and then RVJ talked about him, and we need to have that match. Why not? So, yeah. Mm. Uh, okay. Are you for or against steroids? How many current steroid users and how many current steroid users? No, I'm against steroids. I don't see. The problem is with it's not just one athlete, it's the leagues. More when we start to control things, if we want to get arm wrestling as big as UFC, we at least not at least need to start controlling things. If we don't control things, they will get out of hand. And yeah, there's so many arm wrestlers that are the same all year round, and there's some who just they're good at once a year. And I don't think that's fair to people. But whoever. Okay. I like how Devon and Engin always roast each other. Oh my god, the roasting on those two was amazing. I was watching, I was laughing. It's sometimes the slapbacks from Engin are so good. And yeah, there's a match plan. Did you see latest Alexei video about wanting to pursue amateur in buff drug free, that he doesn't want to get back in pancakes to ruin his health? Why not? I think just a lot of these guys that are really like, you know, kind of mythical in arm wrestling coming out and competing is really good for a sport. It shows people that like do like they left and they came back, and you can do it, and you can do it. And that's the thing about arm wrestling. Like I'm gonna be 32 pretty soon. I see I can do this for 32 more years. Uh, I love pulling. Like I just posted a video of the practice we had last Friday. It was epic. We had so many people coming, and just the matches were crazy. And I just love pulling. So and I think most people that try arm wrestling, they cannot get out of it because it's fun. Like getting on table, arm wrestling with someone, it's really fun. Not everyone needs to pursue and go to competitions, but I think arm wrestling for fun is a weird thing to do if that's just what you do. I don't see. Yeah, almost everyone arm wrestling is on pancakes. Maybe everyone maybe everyone you keep looking at. Uh, it's like everyone, and by everyone, most likely you mean the heavyweights. You go down the classes, and this is like the most ridiculous thing you will hear, that like some juniors are really good, like, and they will come out of the gate guns blazing, already being top medalists in world, making probably, they're just using stuff. This is why they're so good, and they keep going being good forever. It's ridiculous. You take away first of all talent and genetics. For heavyweights, it's a different story. It really is. It really is. Like I believe there's a huge difference between WAF super heavyweight world champ and the strongest super heavyweights on the planet, and it's always been like there's no denying that. But you go down the list, and it's the same guys are the best in their weight classes, you know. So everyone is on pancakes, or almost everyone. So you know, mm, almost everyone in all sport is. Like, again, what would be incentive? For most countries, there's no money in this. There's no, you would spend money, and if you compete in competition where they're drug tested, you might look, go out for 2 4 years for no reason because you didn't get anything back. You lost everything. So I just, what is the incentive for everyone doing that? Yeah, yeah. Vlad is on steroids for sure. So Vlad won world championship in 2013 when he was 16 years old. He's been just getting bigger and better. Uh, he is pretty much, when he's ripped, and that was in his 2021 22, he was 75 kilos. You know, now I would say he's a little bigger with the muscles. The problem is he all got bigger. There's abs are there, but they're not as visible. So like blood's on doping tested Adams system. He gets tested 3 times a year. You know, I speak about these things because I know these things. We have different. We I think Giannis is a big influence of that, because you didn't have to take stuff to be good. You just, you train hard, and if you're gifted, you're gonna rise to the top. And if you work hard and you're gifted, you're gonna rise to the top faster. So I think for us it's different. When you're telling me these things, well, cool, I'm okay. I'm no problem admitting that most people outside WAF will be using or something like that, or super heavyweights. It's cool, but not for us. I like Sanders. He's working hard. He's again on doping system. He gets tested. Uh, I don't know how many times he get tested previous years. Like even when he's not competing, he comes to your door. If you don't show up, you get not fined, but they will put what is that? Warning 2 times, and you get banned. So pretty much you lose everything without gaining that much in return. So it's different stuff for different countries. You look at some countries, there are doping systems in place where athletes can do whatever they want, and in some countries they will have anti-doping systems where they pretty much work hard for the problems not to be there. But for everyone, it's is their own. So yeah, blood is just looking ridiculous. Blood is ridiculous. This is why, understand that comment completely. Normally, blood looked like a mutant when he was 17, 16 years old. He just got a little bigger. He was, I think, he was 65 in Europeans, but he was cutting down, and then he competed, and he was 70. And for past, I don't know, 6, 7 years, I made a video about it. You can find a video on blood. He was 75, I think, yeah, all the time. And then he went up after junior years to 80, not to cut down. But yeah, if you look at him, so it's looking ridiculous. But if you find some pictures how he looked when he was 17, 18, 19, um, it's been continuous progress. And there's a lot of these. The problem is that I don't know if that's a problem, but there's a lot of these arm wrestling freaks that are really like they are how they are. It's just ridiculous. They are strong. Some will have some physical features. Some will not have any physical features. They will just look. They will just be unstoppable on table. And yeah, going heavier, it gets murkier waters. But it is how it is. Yeah, I don't know. I understand. You look at blood, you're like, he's on something. Understand it completely. The dude looks just ridiculous. Um, yeah, and like you can compete some of the biggest tournaments if you're on gear. The big tournaments are Europeans and world because they test there. And most likely you can test it if you get be the top placer there. There's a reason why we went to Slotty, I think once or twice, because for us it was enough just to see the difference there when there's no testing and there is testing. But yeah, I agree. Like I would say more doping tests. Create a league where there's doping tests. We don't like arm wrestling will look the same. It will still look spectacular. It will look the same. The nothing will change. We'll just maybe take some health problems away. You can go back 4 years. I was saying the same thing. So what did I miss? Assassin Strength Shop. Keep up the great work rate. Thank you, buddy. Hey Ray, do you think Devon or John finally found peace after the match? Seems like 2018, 2015, I believe, seemed to hound them. The whole build-up on that match was just crazy. It was, you can see theirs and feel their bad blood between them. I don't know, and the way that Devon kind of responded, not kind of responded, but like I saw him, Neil, and John doing a live stream together, and just Devon's reaction to everything. He was so, I would say, angry, because I think first time the fans turned on him, and John says something and everyone just runs with it, and it was crazy. I don't know if they buried the hatchet or something, but I was just surprised that John looked at Devon, that stopped Mike like this and said like, "Yeah, I want a piece of that," But that's John. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I see a lot of Levin comments. So Levin was competing most of the times in Buff. So I don't know if he like I don't know how many times he got tested. He passed every time because everyone would know. But Levin after 2017 was a completely different animal. I remember seeing him there in Buff and then seeing him in Slotty Tour. That dude was, I think he was lighter, but looked somehow twice as big. So in that Slotty Tour when he was pulling Trubin in a super match, I was thinking like Trubin's going to beat him with right. Levin always struggles with right. Now with the hindsight, everyone's like, well, no, Levin, no one could beat him, blah blah blah. But if you look at that match and before that match came, most of the people would say arm wrestling fan, they would say like, I think Trubin's gonna win because Levin's right has never been the top arm. The left arm has always been his top arm. Has he lost with left at all in Europeans and WAFs when he went super heavyweight? Yeah, yeah. Is your whole house made of wardrobe? Yes, yes. But I have just this, so please send me some clothes. Uh, why does arm wrestling need testing? World's Strongest Man has zero testing and is doing great. I don't think it's doing really great. There's still issues with the athletes. Just you see where people are pushing their limits, and it's a show. I don't know if you can do the same thing in arm. Arm wrestling will never be so. One super match that kills cannot compare to the whole show. Uh, so I don't know if we can draw like a conclusions or lines with that, but I just don't see why the athletes need it. Because people will take it to extreme when there is nothing. So some athletes that go to Waffen Worlds, Waffen Worlds to Waffen Europeans, they will know that they will have to be, competing there, so they cannot, maybe use the things they want to use. So they will know not go balls to the wall, you know. And when there is not that incentive in place, I think weird things can happen. And uh, the worst thing is when you know what happens when someone overdoes it. When it's too much, when it's too long, when people try to reach levels. First of all, the injuries you can sustain because you're just pushing your body to the limits and all those things. So that's just where I'm coming from. And plus, like, my big thing is like, if I'm competing in buff worlds or Europeans, like, if you get caught there, you're a cheater, nothing else. You just cheated. You went there. It doesn't matter what you think that everyone else is doing. If there's one guy in your class that is clean, you are a cheater. Show me that you can win him without taking stuff in the same tournament. So that's where I'm coming from. But again, for everyone, it's their own. What is too expensive for arm wrestling in its current state? Devon better hope that Levin doesn't eat the same pancakes as Dennis. He match. I don't know how many. We're doing like 40 tests a year in world championships. It's still nothing. It's pretty much nothing. But yeah. hmm So yeah, testing is a joke. Well, one thing is for sure, Demon that will show up for King of Table will be able to beat anyone from the West. I feel he was on the best shows. Yeah, let's finish this. The thing is when you so the difference is going through the leagues. For me, the problem is when you compete somewhere there where there is no testing, and then you come back to somewhere where it is testing, where there might be most athletes clean or all of them are clean except you. That's the problem for me. If you're just competing in, doesn't matter, most, I think right now, as I know, the only ones that test is World Arm Wrestling Federation, European Arm Wrestling Federation. I don't know anyone else. I don't know if IFA did any tests there, but if you're competing like PL, King of Table, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever. So do. So if I'm going to King of the Table, if my or even Arm Wars, because there's no testing there. If my opponent is using, I don't care because I agreed to this. When you go to tournament most where everyone's supposed to be clean and they're not, that's not on me. That's on them. So that's the difference. Um, Still new here, but is there a Hall of Fame for arm wrestlers like other sports? I don't think we have, because again, arm wrestling has been too many promotions, too many leagues, so many start and never finish the job, and you cannot really break it. But I think it would not be hard to make arm wrestling Hall of Fame. And yeah, does WL test? No, they don't. Yeah. So if I'm agreeing to pull someone somewhere, and it's you don't have like testing or something, and if you're a clean athlete, that's on you, that's on me, but I don't think anyone can object to what I just said. If I'm agreeing to this, who cares? Same way that Devin and John were pulling, and everyone's like, well, the rules and this and then the setup and this, they both agreed to this. Or when Dave was facing Lemon, everyone's like, Lemon was too big, he weighted more. Dave knew this. It's not news for it wasn't like he showed up, he's like, what the hell, no. So I think there's comes mutual agreements to every side, and you need to understand them. In arm wrestling, like if I go to WL, like Hermes went to WL, he needed to know the rules. It's on him that he didn't perform best at those rules. It's on him, and I think he understands that, and I think everyone needs to understand those things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just want to trying to find it. I think there's a place for both tested and untested leagues federation. I think so too. If you want to make arm wrestling like just again the same thing that comes to mind. One is entertainment, one is sport, and you need to understand the differences. You need to understand when you want to see muscular guys, sweating and competing with each other, that they look like superheroes in arm wrestling, and the matches are however they are. That's fine with the rule set that allows wars to happen. That's fine. But if you want to figure out who's the best with strict rules with testing, that's the sport aspect of it. So this is where the WAF is going. This is what we want to. This is what we're doing with WAF and maybe some other leagues. And the main goal is maybe we can get into Olympics. Imagine if arm wrestling would go into Olympics, the whole landscape would change. I think so many guys would just like whatever I was doing there, I want to quit it. I want to go here and figure out, can I make it here? And I think for arm wrestling, the first like just for national federations, it would come to test their athletes, because imagine if arm wrestling would get into Olympics and then they have like 10 doping cases because everyone just went there to compete in the Olympics, we would get out. So I think it would be internally very, very hard testing, and then externally from Olympics. So yeah, incentivize. Hawks and risking. Do you want high start? Okay. Size of the wrist. Hand can be advantage, but it's not decisive. Larat said that Matt Mask has the strongest hand in North America. How the fuck is skateboarding in the Olympics and arm wrestling isn't so dumb? We need more fans. We need more people to be active. We need some of the, so it goes outside our circles. This is why I think the era of super matches and pay-per-view is a great thing in arm wrestling. We're gonna look back at this time. We're gonna say, well, this is what brought us into the mainstream. Just because pay-per-views, first of all, you buy the pay-per-view, you're giving your support, like really giving your support. You're not just watching, you're not just spectating, you're not just reading results, but you're actually being part of the progress. And if that money goes to the athlete, he's like incentivized to compete more, to bring more, to help, to show. And I think it's just gonna be bigger. Larry is a big part of it because PL did their pay-per-views. I don't know. I don't think there's too many people watching, especially because they're doing it in Russian. WL never disclosed their numbers. We don't know where it was. We know the people were very interested just by the views that the videos got after they got released on YouTube. But how many people bought it? With Larry, if Larry's like, he did 2 events, he's like, let's set the whole year for next one. And I mean, I think it's great. I think it works. So, you know, and however we can build this, especially with East versus West, this is where this is very important. Plus, I'm going to Norway, and there's some things coming up, and it's also interesting thing that everyone would want to see an event, and it's also going to be a pay-per-view. And I think all these small things will add up, not just help athletes but help the sport grow. Because if I can make my videos and show it to bigger audiences, and most of my videos are educational stuff, some maybe 1% of them are funny, most of them are educational stuff. We either talk from experience, show something and things like that, but it's educational. So this is what I want people that come in, they get those videos, they learn about our sport, things like that, and they get educated in our sport. Yeah. Mm. Uh, how much do you weigh? Compound movements like bench press and arm wrestling, if your time is limited and you could use time also to do more finger hand side push. If you want to get better at arm wrestling, you should arm wrestle, and you should train the fundamental muscles of arm wrestling. Bench press helps. Like bench press isn't even not the best exercise to build your chest. It's the best exercise to build your bench press, and things like that. So you need to put it down, figure it out, and if you still want, like I love bench pressing, so I will do it like once or twice a week just because I love it. So I maybe it helps. Most likely it doesn't, because we will have like great pressers, great tricep pressers. Some people with great joints that cannot bench shit. So yeah, 1% is Ray asking for chalk. Chalk, 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 chalk. Did you watch Larry and Michael play basketball? Who's terrified for them? Yeah, I saw the heart breathing. It's like I don't know how hot it was at that time in Dubai, but both of them were close to dying. How important is having a big hand in arm wrestling? Do you believe can someone with normal sized hands be successful? You have to go around and look at arm wrestlers and look at the tournaments, and you'll see most of them have normal sized hands. Like if you work your hand, like I have big hands for being 5 foot nothing, like Brian said. Uh, but if you will see their hands working, they're gonna get thicker. My fingers, of course, they were smaller when I started because I'm working so much with everything. So muscles, tendons, bones, everything gets thicker. Um, like Vlad has small hands. He has way smaller hands than I have. Giannis doesn't have big hands. There's so many guys that can do it. Depends on the weight class you're in. Even there's some heavyweights with small hands, but that's for you to find out. Hi, Mr. Ray. What do you think about Hermes Gasparini? The weirdest comment. Based on your name, you're Italian. You want to hear me saying good stuff about Hermes? I have said them in the past. That's enough. Uh, okay, fuck eight ball. That's the one. I have smaller hands than most women I know. Then you should compete at 50 kilo class, 55 kilo class, and it will even out. Um, can you tell us what Giannis can bench press? He can bench press like way less than I can. Okay, guys, that's an hour, 13 minutes. I will try to do these maybe at least once a week. Sometimes we'll have guests, but the most important thing is we will talk about armor. Like, again, you guys moved the discussion, and I just talked about what you guys wanted to hear. Some things are happening. Yeah, check out new videos on the channel coming out. Blah blah blah. Doesn't I don't need to plug anything. If you're here, you know why you're here. Stay strong. Love arm wrestling. Bye, guys. It was awesome. Thank you.